Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Danny, and what I wanted to do tonight is a response video from my friend Carltopia, and after that I hope to get into ripping some cards. But congrats Carl on getting to 200 subs. What Carl wants to know is well, what he asked for is for us to shoot a video talking about what our favorite decade was for baseball and then why. And so I'm going to try and get into that. And so I started collecting ball cards in '87 and collected all the way up through '91. In '87, I guess I was 11. And then '88 was 12. And actually my favorite era of baseball, and this goes back to my youth, was the 1960s. And the reason for my interest in that was probably because of cards like this that I have laid out in front of you. Now, these are the turn back to clock cards. I think the first and third are from '87. The second and fourth are from 1988 tops, respectively. And so you have like this Maury Wills, looks like a 62. Obviously, the years are under him. This 88 tops has a 63 tops on it. This one has a 67 Carl Yaz on it, and then finally the last one has a 68 Bob Gibson. And what it was when I started collecting, I would see these cards, and I would these actual cards from the 87 or 88 set, and it would just make me mindful that, you know, there were star players back then, and I'd get my Beckett price guide out, you know, and I'd go back and I'd look these cards up and see what they were worth, and they were worth just buku money back then, you know. And so I was just enamored by it. Now, one of the reasons why I like the 60s is because you had the superstars from the 50s, such as Mickey Mantle, Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, to name a few, Stan Musial, who was actually a bigger star in the 40s than he was in the 50s, but they were playing in the 60s. And then you had guys like Pete Rose start his career in the 60s. You had Yaz playing, Bob Gibson playing, obviously Maury Wills. You know, you just had a lot of these guys playing during that time frame that, you know, played up into the 70s. So you had a lot of the 70s stars playing in the 60s. You had the Frank Robinsons and the Brooks Robinsons of the world. Maybe started in late 50s into the 60s, you know. And so then you had the superstars from the 50s still in the 60s, and you had some of the guys that became stars in the 70s that were playing in the 60s. So for me, that was just a time frame of cards that I was always enamored by, especially as a young collector. Now, I don't have many cards from the 60s, believe it or not. I like to buy cards on occasion and give them to friends, but these are a few cards that I do have in my collection. Most of them are old. I do have a couple of newer ones in here, but one of them is Jim Button with the Yankees, and I showcased some of these on a video for, I believe, Amio. This is a 1966 Jim Button that I got in a trade when I was a little kid, and I just thought it was awesome. You can probably see it's got a crease right there by his face, but it was a card that I cherished as a kid. There's a what is that, a 68 Don Locke with the Phillies. Not anyone in particular special or whatever, but it's just one of the cards I had. This one I picked up not too long ago. It's an Al Kaline. I don't remember what I gave for that, but that's a 68 Al Kaline, which I thought was a pretty good card. And this is a pretty roached out Bill White. Bill White actually became I believe the American League commissioner or American League president maybe, back in the late 80s, early 90s, and I thought it was neat that I had one of his cards, albeit one in really poor shape. So that's from '69. It's even got some writing on the back. Also, I have a '69 Leo Durocher Cubs manager card, which I thought was pretty good. I picked that one up the same time I got the K-line, I believe, just at a card show. And then lastly, this is actually a 2017 card, but it's a Sandy Koufax from 1966 or 67. This is a super short print card that I pulled a while back, and this would have just been another one of those players in the 60s that would have been pretty awesome to see out there playing. So anyhow, Carl, I hope this response video gets me eligible for whatever you're trying to do in your giveaway, buddy. This was super fun to do. It was fun kind of digging these cards back out of the sets that I have built for them. Again, dude, congrats on getting to 200 subs. I hope you get to 2,000 before too long. You got a great channel with great content. I appreciate your friendship. I appreciate texting back and forth. And bro, having said that, I'm going to cut this right here, guys. I'm going to put a link to Carl's channel in the comments below, or in the description below, rather. And leave a comment for him if you can. Hit that thumbs up button for me. Subscribe to my channel, or don't even worry about that. Go subscribe to Carltopia and tell him Danny at 12 Again sent you, and I will greatly appreciate that. So we're going to cut this video right here, and maybe we can rip some more cards here in a minute. All right, peace.